2012 to order, and I'd like to ask Mr. Kirk to please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Kirk. Next thing on the agenda is approval of the minutes for June 21st, 2012. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Been moved by Deputy Mayor Denning, second by Mr. Schock. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. We also now are accepting written citizens' petitions. If you would like to speak before the council on any agenda items or non-agenda items, please send up a slip and we'll get to you when we come to that part of the meeting. Next thing is the city manager's report. Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You received my report as part of your packet, as well as a special midweek edition. It came out Tuesday. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you may have, as well as staff that's here this evening. As always, you can expect another report tomorrow via email.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Are there any questions for the manager? Mr. Folenkamp.
In your appended weekly report, you mentioned something about county environmental services and relationship to Brentwood project. Was that wrong? I didn't print it out, so I don't have it in front of me.
You know, there were some general issues that we had with environmental services, specifically related to some provisions within our code on construction that we wanted to make sure that they were aware of. And while we were talking with them, there were also some outstanding issues with Brentwood, in particular with the lift station. We were still waiting on approvals from them, so we killed two birds with one stone in that meeting. So everything is back now from environmental services related to that project. So we're actually scheduled for close next week, Tuesday the 10th. We have closing at 11. We also have a pre-construction meeting that morning as well on that project.
Excuse me, it wasn't in your pen. It was in the original, so thanks.
Okay, so any other questions from council? And where are we on the warranty program?
We received the fully executed contract for services back from them late last week. So now we are waiting for the letter to citizens for us to proofread and amend as we feel appropriate. So I don't have a time frame on when that will be arriving, but that's
all I need to know. Make sure it's moving ahead. And you'll let me know when the new police officer will be sworn in?
Yes, we do not have a definitive date yet. We're still waiting on physical, but we'll let you know.
Great, thank you. Any other questions, comments? Seeing none, we will move on. Next agenda item. That is, again, public comments. If you have any public comments, please, on agenda items, let me see if there are any. No, there are no requests for public comment on agenda items. So I will move into new business. First new business, resolution number 12R1689. Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This resolution is brought forth pursuant to the request of the Dayton Area Mayors and Managers Group. As a background of this particular piece of legislation, it relates to the tax uniformity issue, which has been making circulations up at the State House. And it has several different forms, but the most prevailing form on the uniformity issue is that several chambers of commerce, the state CPAs are all lobbying that there is just too many inconsistencies in how local jurisdictions handle their tax. And so they have been pushing heavy in Columbus for basically the law statewide to be amended to create uniformity in several areas. Based on what those proposals are at this point in time, they tend to be more detrimental than beneficial to all of the local jurisdictions. So several of the jurisdictions within our group broke off to meet with several regional representatives from the CPAs and the Chamber of Commerce to talk about ways that we could provide for uniformity in a way that would be neutral to the cities but beneficial to the CPAs. That being said, there were several areas in which the cities collectively agreed that we could kind of unify some areas that would benefit the CPAs but would not be detrimental. So what the mayors and managers are proposing are for all of the jurisdictions within Miami-Dade, Montgomery, Warren County to adopt this legislation that you have before you, which basically says that all of us as local jurisdictions agree to do A, B, and C in the event to establish uniformity, provided that the state allows us to implement these. That, in other words, we will do these, but only if you allow us to do them to create that uniformity. All of the jurisdictions within the regional mayors and managers group have agreed to implement this legislation sometime between now and I believe it is the end of August was the timeline. We are one of the first to put it on, but everyone will be putting it on. Additionally, we have forwarded this legislation to all of our counterparts throughout the state. So the Cincinnati Metro, the Columbus, the Toledo, the Akron, and the Cleveland folks are all looking at doing the exact same thing that we are doing here to kind of bring some finality to this issue, to demonstrate that we are all cooperating and working together and we don't need the state to intercede on our behalf. So, in order to protect our best interests long-term, we are asking council to approve this legislation so that we will make changes internally to mirror our counterparts within the area to ward off any detrimental uniformity decisions that might be made in Columbus. This particular legislation and its proposed changes that it affect and how it affects Riverside has been reviewed by Acting Finance Director Garrett. He has indicated that there are no significant detrimental impacts to any of these changes that are proposed, and as such, we would ask that the council adopt a resolution before you tonight.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Schott, seconded by Deputy Mayor Denny. Is there any discussion on the motion? Mr. Fulenkamp.
So there are no significant, so what changes for taxpayers in our city?
I think the main things in this proposal are just changes due dates, really. It's very similar to the way we operate right now, so we picked a lot of the provisions similar to what we're doing, and we're just encouraging. So, like I said, I think it's the due dates. It would advance due dates. Right now, our returns are due the end of the month following the reporting month. This proposal would change it to the middle of the month after the reporting month. It would, right now we have no minimum age requirement for charging people income tax. If they earn money, they're supposed to report and pay income tax. Some cities, though, have an exclusion for teenage workers. So this proposal would have us back up, so we lose a little bit of income tax by having the teenage workers, but I don't think that's an overly significant amount either.
What about the 12-day rule? Right now, for you work in the city for 12 days, or how many days do you need?
If
Do you work
a
in the city?
company works in the city less than 12 days, they just report the tax to their home city.
So what do we have now?
Right now, we have that rule. We have
Is
a
it 12
12-day
days?
rule. This adds a little more definition to what the 12-day rule said, and that this new proposal says if they work in our city the preponderance of their day, in other words, most of the day, instead of like a tradesman coming out to fix your furnace or whatever, but he's going to go, lots of different places. And if he doesn't spend most of the day in Riverside, then it wouldn't be a reportable day for taxation under this new proposal. Whereas, you know, they're supposed to kind of keep track of, particularly for construction workers, and if they worked in our area, keep track of it and then report that income to us. So we would be simplifying that with this proposal. Just, again, if they were only in our city the majority of the day, then it would become a taxable event for us. Otherwise, it's just reported to their home city for convenience.
Ms. Campbell?
I just had a question. I don't know if it affects this or not, but like my zip code's 04, and it comes up Dayton. Now, how do you know we're getting tax bill? But I'm in Riverside.
Well, again, Riverside tax ordinance as it currently states, and as it would be in this proposal, is residents have to file their tax return. This proposal makes it mandatory for everybody to file a tax return. But we already had that rule, so it really doesn't change for us.
But they know it's Riverside.
Well, the resident ought to know where they live.
Right. But
I
sometimes.
mean, we're gonna have that
when
same
you put
issue.
it in, now when I went to get my driver's license renewed, I told them it's Riverside, Ohio, 45404, and it come up Dayton, and it wasn't that on there.
So we've heard that, and
And there are, and your taxing address, your taxing information is embedded within your mailing information. So, for instance, and a great many of our properties are like that. And so, we are able to identify you, while your zip code may make it a Dayton mailing zip code, your property, your parcel ID number is assigned to the taxing jurisdiction in which you live. So while it may say on your driver's license that you are at Dayton, that's your mailing address, but when that address that hits that parcel ID in the DMV database, that pops up, that correlates to your parcel ID number, which lists you as a Riverside resident. So your permissive tax then comes to the city.
so we are getting that way. Okay. And then the other answer to the question is, Rita also knows that they have federal forms, and when you do your federal forms, it triggers the town that you live in. Any other questions or concerns? If not, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. Next resolution is resolution number 12R 191690. Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This resolution is to recognize the Valley Worship Center's Thanksgiving dinner as a function that promotes the public health of the city.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Is there a motion? Then moved by Ms. Campbell. Is there a second?
Second, $250.
Second by Deputy Mayor Denning for $250. Is there any discussion on the motion? Is that okay? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. That is all the business that we have for this meeting, so we will now move into public comment on non-agenda items. We're going to start off with Sally McCarthy.
Hi, I'm Sally McCarthy. I live at 5202 Barrack on Lily Creek. And I want to tell you all of the Lily Creek meetings I've gone to were ugly. But on 23 June, a small crowd of people came to the creek. Mr. Follenkamp was there, Mr. Kerb, even though he was the second voice in Ivy. Mr. Denny was there, Mayor Flowey, and even his wife. And they're all down in the creek, picking up whatever they could find and hauling it up the bank. It was quite a day. And then Kim and Thelma Howell organized this thing. They're not here, but then Jerry and Linda King fed us and welcomed us into their yard and gave us access to the creek. So it was quite a day. Just gives you all kind of warm fuzzies to know that many people cared, and they weren't creek people. They were neighbors. So the other thing I've got is in the AT&T phone book, Riverside phone numbers are not listed. All it has is call 911. It doesn't have any of the city phone numbers in the blue pages. And I think AT&T should go out and publish one of their little sheets and mail it out to everybody. The non-emergency police number's not in there either. That's all it says, is call 911 for Riverside. Okay, thanks.
Well, thank you for your kind comments, and we're not giving up on Lily Creek yet. We're not giving
I
up on
know,
it.
but that was quite a day. It was wonderful. It really was.
Thank
And your wife, she's special.
Oh, thank you. I know she is.
She was down in the mud.
I would like to add something real quick to that, is I was on that list to work with
Oh.
Creek, and I had an accident that morning.
Oh, that's
I
awful.
was unable to make that.
Oh, but you missed a really nice day and a hot dog on the grill.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Next person, Miss Brenda Long. Miss Long.
Mayor Cloudy, council members, city manager Chavoski, and all of our city heads. Thank you for allowing me the time tonight to address you all. For those in the audience that don't know me, I'm Brenda Long, president of the City of Riverside Community Festival Corporation. I would like to start my time with a thank you to Mayor Floudy for nominating me for the 16th Annual Appalachian Unsung Hero Awards from Sinclair Community College. Also, I would like to thank Mike Smith, Ed Schock, and Beverly Campbell for their great letters they submitted in my behalf. And I won the Outstanding Family Values Award on May 11th, 2012, and I'm greatly honored. So thank all of you. As we know, the Riverside Community Festival is coming up on us quickly. We have been blessed with 3 new members. Do not forget to enter your dogs for the dog show on Friday the 24th of August, to be held at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Entry fee is $5. And register any daughter or granddaughter that goes to our Riverside schools. The cost is $20. Little Miss, age 3 to kindergarten. Little Miss, grades 1 to 4. Junior Misses, 5 to 7 grades. Teen Miss, grades 8 to 12. If you don't have any young ladies, tell a friend. Because we would like to have more cooperation and a lot more ladies competing. Our parade this year is being ran by 2 new members, Sean Donner and his better half, Jennifer. And you can reach them at 346-6515, and we hope all of you are in the parade. Remember to call him to get signed up for the parade. We look forward to having help from the mayor and the council members to help with the MCing again this year. Bring your cars for the car show. Any questions, you can call me, Brenda Long, at 245-9478. Bring your older flags to the proper disposal done by the VFW Post 657 this year. And we will have good food, good entertainment, and we encourage everyone to come. We want to reach out to everyone in Riverside, Page Manor, just let it grow. This is an opportunity to let people meet each other and create a bond within our city. And that is the most important thing our city needs. Cooperation, love, and knowing that we're all here.
Yeah.
And I thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Long. As always, we will try to support in any way that we can.
Thank you, Brenda.
Sorry?
I said, thank you, Brenda.
You're welcome.
And last but definitely not least, there's a friend and colleague, St. Vincent, that would like to speak to council. So Ms. Melissa Pangian, please come forward.
Hello, my name is Melissa Pangian, and my husband Radar and I have been citizens of Riverside for 4 years. We are here today to praise the efforts of one of Riverside's police officers, Officer Angela Jackson. Just a bit of a background. On Friday, June the 22nd, around 10 o'clock a.m., I was attacked by 2 vicious dogs coming into my backyard. And during the event, I was bitten at least 12 times, and one of our beloved pets was murdered. I called 911 while my husband was finishing dealing with the entire situation, and after a short 10 minutes, 2 Riverside paramedics arrived, quickly followed by Officer Jackson and Officer Stephen Hurd from Montgomery County Animal Control. I must admit that on the day of the event, I don't remember much about my conversation with both Officer Jackson and Officer Hurd, but I was literally amazed that on Saturday, the very next day, Officer Jackson again showed up at our front door. As a follow-up, she came to get my official statement, take pictures of my wounds, and just to see how I was doing. She left both my husband and I with an assurance that those responsible would be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law and that justice would prevail. And we really felt, awesome after she left. She really displayed a lot of kindness and compassion while she was there. And that's why I'm here before you today. On Sunday, Officer Jackson again returned to check on me and to make me aware of her progress with our case. We were amazed by her commitment to task and detail, as well as her tenderness and compassion with regards to the whole situation. And when she left, she gave us 2 numbers in which to reach her should we have any additional need for conversation. Wow. I mean, wow. My husband and I are relatively new Riversidians, and we came from an area where, should the police be summoned, you easily wait 45 minutes to an hour for help. And we would never have the stellar fellowship or the follow-up which we received from Riverside's Officer Jackson. I believe that the citizens of Riverside are blessed to have a truly amazing person to protect and serve them. And I wanted those on the City Council, and especially the Chief of Police, to be aware of Officer Angela Jackson's superb work, attention to detail, courtesy, and professionalism in the line of duty. May she be duly commended. Thank you.
Chief, I hope you transfer those words to the correct people. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for speaking.
Real quick, what happened to the dogs?
Well, it's now, with the court system, and the prosecutor talked to me today. The dog, one of the dogs, we were able to capture. My husband was able to get her, and the animal control guy came and he picked the dog up, and of course it was put into quarantine for 10 days. Those 10 days are up, and the owner of the dog can go and get that dog as long as the judge allows it. And so we obviously want that dog to be put down. We want the other dog found, but the guy that owns the first dog is not fessing up to owning the second dog. And so we don't know if we're actually going to get justice in that regard. The other dog that got away was the male, and he was the more ferocious of the two. So I mean, I would love that Officer Jackson and Officer Hurd be able to find this other dog and also be able to destroy it as well. But it's up to the court system now.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, moving into council member comments. Are there any comments from the council? Seeing none, I just want to say, Lily Creek, we're, as I said, we're not giving up on it. We're still trying our best with that. You all heard about Turkey, so I didn't go on your behalf to any of the other events that was happening in the area. I did do 6 weddings though. I think we'll still get in 6 weddings, so we are continuing to do that, and it's been a pleasure. So, any other council member comments? There's a motion by Ms. Campbell to adjourn, second by Mr. Schock. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We are adjourned. Thank you. Thank you all for coming. Stay cool out there.